It is July 11th, 2022, and rumours state that at some point over this next 6-month period, All Elite Wrestling will finally release their highly anticipated console game to the world, AEW Fight Forever. While there is still a fair bit of information that we don't know about this game, one aspect of this game that has shaped up quite nicely over the recent months is the game's roster. So we thought it'd be a good time to check in and see exactly what we're dealing with. With that being said, my name is Cameron Bash, welcome back to the Movement channel, where today we're covering everybody who's a part of AEW Fight Forever so far. On a live stream that was set to reveal some new inclusions to the game's roster, one member of the stream noted that the game would have around 50 people on its initial release. Tony Khan, the man in charge of AEW, later clarified on this comment, saying that there would be more than 50, but didn't specifically state how much more. This would lead us to speculate that it's not too much more than 50, so to be generous, we'll estimate the final day one roster to be around 50 to 60 people. With that being said, with every name that we're about to cover in this video taken into account, these names already confirm a whopping 25 to 32% of the game's total roster, depending where between 50 to 60 it ultimately lands, if that is in fact the entire number. So while it may seem like we've not had a lot to go off in regards to this game and information related to it, if this is in fact 25 to 32% of the entire roster, that's actually a considerable amount of information and footage to have, especially when you compare it to the likes of WWE 2K22, who only really started giving out core roster details around 6 weeks before the game's release. So, with that out the way, let's get into all of the names that have been confirmed for the game so far. First up, obviously, is Kenny Omega. Kenny was the very first person we saw in the AEW console game reveal trailer way back in November of 2020. Right next to him was the reveal of Chris Jericho, as the footage featured these two going back and forth in the AEW ring. The third person to be revealed as part of this game also came in this trailer, as towards the end, Kenny Omega is attacked by Hikaru Shida, which not only confirmed her for the game, but confirmed that intergender matches would also be a part of the game as well. It took around 7 months for us to get our next official roster confirmation, which saw Darby Allin confirmed with a small reveal trailer of his own in June 2021. This trailer also showed off how the game's overall presentation had evolved in that 7-month period, seemingly based on fan feedback, as they opted to leave behind the bulkier, almost WWE All-Stars-like animation style to go with a more natural-looking style, very similar to that of what we see in the mainline WWE games these days. It didn't take too long for us to get our next roster confirmation, as just a few short months later in September 2021, we had Jungle Boy revealed to us in a trailer similar to that of the one that revealed Darby Allin. It was then back to having to wait another longer period of time, as after a dragging 9-month period, we finally got some more reveals this past May 2022. This was in fact the live stream where we got the 50-person roster information, and alongside that piece of information, we had 2 more of those small trailers, like we got for Darby Allin and Jungle Boy. The first of these was spotlighted around Nyla Rose, confirming her for the game, while the second one spotlighted Chris Statlander, also confirming her for the game. As part of this footage, we also saw that Aubrey Edwards was going to be a part of the game as an NPC referee, so not technically a part of the game's final roster, but an awesome inclusion nonetheless. Now, while that is all the official footage we've received so far, it isn't the end of the reveals. The first non-footage reveal came back in September of 2021, where alongside the announcement that the Owen Hart tournament would be taking place in AEW, Tony Khan also confirmed that Owen Hart would be a part of the AEW console game, marking our first legend to be officially confirmed. Then in March of 2022, one AEW wrestler took it upon themselves to reveal that they would be a part of the game, and that was the now AEW Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa, which seems like a pretty no-brainer inclusion, given the fact that she is now the champion. It's also been reported by numerous reliable websites that the Young Bucks have also been confirmed to be a part of this game as well, although I myself could not find the original source of this information, so it's one I would take with a grain of salt for now. Be sure to check the comments down below, because if I do find the official source of this information, I'll be sure to pin it in the comments. But perhaps the most groundbreaking announcement to come most recently was the announcement from Kenny Omega himself, where he confirmed that Cody Rhodes would in fact still be a part of AEW Fight Forever, despite his departure from the company to join WWE. This was confirmed in June 2022. Now, on top of all the names we've discussed so far, which is 12 in total including the Young Bucks, there are 5 more names that are reportedly going to be a part of the game. These names were reported by Fightful Select, where on top of them noting that they had also heard the roster size was going to be around 50, they listed 5 names that they had heard were going to be a part of the game as well. These names were CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Sting, and Ruby Soho. Now obviously, you need to take those names with a grain of salt, as they haven't been confirmed by any official source at this time. But, based on comments from Tony Khan in a recent podcast appearance earlier this year, which we'll link our coverage of in the description down below, he said that they are aiming to have some of the more recent signings be a part of the game, because he believes that that will in turn make for a better game. So, it's no surprise to hear about the likes of CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole and Ruby Soho being rumoured for the game, as it definitely lines up with what AEW seemingly want to do. So, all in all, that gives us 17 names for the AEW Fight Forever roster, and again, if this game ends up having around 50 to 60 people on its day 1 roster, which all signs seems to be pointing to this being the case, then right here, we have a whopping 25 to 32% of the game's roster, which is pretty crazy to think about, considering we haven't even got a release date for this game yet. But there you have it everyone, those are all of the names confirmed / heavily rumoured to be a part of AEW Fight Forever's roster. Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below, who do you still want to see confirmed for this game? With only 50 to 60 people seemingly making the cut, it's guaranteed that at least a few big names won't be included, so make sure to tell us which names are a must-have for you. And while you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more AEW Fight Forever content. Thanks very much for watching this video, and we'll see you soon for another one. Peace.
Oh, come on, what the hell is going on here? Wait, no, that's impossible. No, what the hell is he doing here?